The Hollywood casting couch is something that has been talked about in the media for decades, and the lowdown is that it's a euphemism for women performing sexual acts to get parts in projects. And now that Me Too has taken over Hollywood, this disgusting behavior is no longer accepted or tolerated. However, during the time when Me Too was very prominent in the media, many brave actresses came forward with their stories to warn other women and try and make a change in the culture in showbiz. And today on I.O., I thought I would highlight some of these stories to remind us all why real change is still needed to this day. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Mackenzie Smith, and today on I.O. I'm going to be filling you in on the top 10 casting couch horror stories that will make you rethink the way you look at Hollywood. But before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe below. Also check out our playlist of other top 10s just like this one right up there. And just wanted to include a quick warning that we will be talking about some, dark subjects around of power in today's video, so if you don't want to see that, definitely click off. And at number 10 we have Charlize Theron. So Charlize opened up in April of 2019 about an uncomfortable encounter she had with a very prominent producer, where he invited her to his home and he answered the door in his pajamas. She was just 19 at the time, saying in an interview, quote, "I should have turned around and left. I didn't. But he had a very healthy ego. He felt very good about himself. Then we sat down and started talking. He sat very close to me. That was strange. The drinking bothered me. I was like, this doesn't feel right," she said on the Howard Stern show. She continued that she tried multiple times to bring up the script and the role, but he brushed it off. Then she says that he put his hand on her knee, and after that her mind went blank. And even though she was frozen with fear, she got up and left, saying that she was mad at herself for not calling him out. She then recounted that she got offered a role from that same man 8 years later, and when he said it was nice to meet her, she clapped back that they had already met, reminding him that it was 9 p.m. on a Saturday and he was in his pajamas. Charlize finished off the interview saying he was and still is a very big deal, saying in a different interview that she will say his name when the time is right. And I really hope that happens so this guy can get the Weinstein treatment, you know what I mean? And at number 9, Gwyneth Paltrow. Even though Gwyneth Paltrow was born to Hollywood royalty, doesn't mean that she was exempt from the casting couch, with her telling Elle that she was subject to the casting couch when she was young and trying to make a name for herself in the business. In 2010, she told the magazine, quote, "When I was just starting out, someone suggested that we finish a meeting in the bedroom. I could see how someone who didn't know any better might worry. My career would be ruined if I don't give this guy a She also spoke up against Harvey Weinstein when allegations first came out against him, saying that although nothing sexual happened, he was a bully, saying that she always stood up to him and that she wasn't scared of him ruining her reputation. And at number 8, Megan Fox. Megan Fox opened up about her experience in a 2009 interview with GQ, admitting that even after fame, the casting couch did not stop. She even said that a few Hollywood legends had sexually her, saying in an interview, quote, "You think you're going to meet them and you're so excited, like I can't believe this person wants to have a conversation with me. And you get there and you realize it's not what they want at all." She says she gets back at them by shutting down the men publicly to take a blow to their ego, even speaking of working with several actors who tried to bed her and thought it would be easy because that's the warped world that they live in. But she would shut them down immediately in front of other people, and it would be a big hit to their ego. And I personally just love her for that. And at number 7, Corey Feldman. Former child star Corey Feldman had been incredibly vocal about his horrible time growing up in Hollywood, saying that his fame and role in the industry completely stripped his innocence from him at a young age, and saying that harm against children is the biggest secret in Hollywood, with him referencing the casting couch, then saying that the exact same thing happened to kids like him, but it just flew very far under the radar and was much more secretive, even opening up about the passing of Corey Haim, saying that Hollywood men were responsible. In their 2008 reality TV show, The Two Coreys, Feldman and Haim confronted each other on their dark past, saying, quote, "There's a lot of good people in this industry, but there's also a lot of really sick, corrupt people. And there are people who have gotten away with it for so long that they feel they're above the law, and that's gotta change," Feldman said. And I think we can honestly all agree with that. And at number 6, Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe told her story to the world with the help of some insiders that knew her story as well to tell in the modern day. Marilyn Monroe was a star in the time when powerful men just wanted to bed her to say that they did, with it being a requirement for a lot of her roles, with moguls like Harry Cohen reportedly not casting starlets like Marilyn Monroe and Kim Novak unless they auditioned in bed. And back in the day, the issues these women faced were far more hidden than they are today, with Marilyn's talent and charisma adding up to low self-esteem and substance abuse in an industry that ate women for lunch. In Monroe's memoir, My Story, she wrote about the men she met, saying, quote, "Phoniness and failure were all over them. Some were vicious and crooked, but they were as near to the movies as you could get. So you sat with them, listening to their lies and schemes, and you saw Hollywood with their eyes, an overcrowded brothel, a merry-go-round with beds for horses. And that horrifying description is probably still somewhat accurate to this day. Halfway through number 5, Judy Garland. Judy Garland is someone that suffered silently while she was a child star into adulthood, and the studios were incredibly harmful to her throughout her childhood. I personally watched the Judy Garland biopic, and it was seriously heartbreaking to see what this woman went through. And the people closest to her were the ones that first told the public about the terrible things that happened to Judy, with writer Gerald Clark stating in his biography that Garland was sexually when she was a teenager, with him claiming that MGM studio head Louis B. Mayer used to, quote, place his hand on her left breast when instructing her to sing from the heart. After 4 years of outrage, Judy plucked up the courage to tell her boss, quote, if you want to tell me where to sing from, just point. The studios also put her through tons of mental turmoil and forced her to take many pills to stay thin. In at number 4, Lisa Rinna. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star opened up that she had been subject to the casting couch in her early years in the industry, with Lisa claiming that one producer told her, quote, just pull your panties down and bend over and the role is yours. The actress told PopEater.com that she lost out on that job when she refused to do that, but years later she ran into him at a red carpet and told him that, quote, I know everyone in this town. She told him, and if you ever do what you did to me again to anyone else, I will tell everyone your dirty secret. And if you watch Real Housewives, you know Rinna does not play around, so she will definitely expose this guy when she feels that the time is right. And at number 3, Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence, one of the biggest actresses in the industry right now, has also sadly been subjected to despicable behavior by people in the industry. Back in 2017, J-Law came forward with her story that she allegedly had to take part in a naked lineup at an audition, saying, quote, a female producer had me do a nude lineup with about 5 women who were much, much thinner than me, she recounted, adding, we stood side by side with only tape covering our privates. After that degrading and humiliating lineup, the female producer told me I should use the naked photos of myself as inspiration for my diet. But then one of the male producers took this opportunity to chime in, saying, quote, he said he didn't know why everyone thought I was so fat. He thought I was perfectly adding that she's still learning that she doesn't have to smile when a man makes her uncomfortable. And the fact that this was happening when Jennifer was coming up, which really wasn't that long ago, just proves how big of an issue that this all is. In at number 2, Melissa Gilbert and Caitlin O'Heaney. Back in 2017, actress Melissa Gilbert came forward with her story about when she was auditioning to be in the 1991 biopic On the Doors, saying that she was forced to audition with a humiliating sex scene. During an interview with Andy Cohen, she revealed further that she auditioned to play Jim Morrison's girlfriend, and that's why the filmmaker Oliver Stone claimed she needed to do the scene. After these allegations were made, Stone denied them and said in a statement that the casting team ensured a safe environment. But because of Gilbert's story, Caitlin O'Heaney decided to come out and make her own allegations, saying that while she was also auditioning for a part in The Doors, she suffered an assault from Val Kilmer, saying that she was ignoring 30-year-old gag orders and knew it was time to speak up. And finally, at number 1, Jenny McCarthy. Jenny opened up about a time in 1998 when she was told to undress in an audition she had with Steven Seagal. This took place when she was auditioning for a role in Under Siege 2. McCarthy told Movie Time that she came into the audition ready to go and told Seagal that she was ready to read her lines, but he responded, quote, stand up, you have to be kind of sexy in this movie and in that dress, I can't tell. So she responded by standing up, and then he tells her to take off the dress. When she was confused, he said that there was nudity in the film, insinuating that he wants to see how she would look naked. But she responded, no, there's not nudity or I wouldn't be here right now. He said again, there's nudity. And then she said, the pages are right in front of me, there's no nudity. Then he said, take off your dress. McCarthy then said she got up and left while crying. And he followed her out to her car, and as she was about to leave, told her to never tell anybody. Seagal responded by saying that her claims were totally false and she never even auditioned for that movie. But that is just so terrifying, like being scared like that and then having them follow you to your car. Like I just can't even imagine the horror and all that. Alright everyone, that's all for this list today. Let me know any thoughts you have below. I'm just so proud and happy that these women are standing up so that hopefully this cycle can end as soon as possible. I'm not going to do comments in this one, but thank you so much for watching, and leave a comment below that you want me to see and it might be featured in one of our next videos. Also be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you liked, and follow the team on our socials if you want to see more of us. And I will catch you all in the next one. Marilyn Monroe told her story to the world with the help of some insiders that knew her story as Marilyn Monroe told her